At this time, we'll hear from our salutatorian and valedictorian for the class of 2017. First, our salutatorian. Mr. Josh Belcher is a salutatorian for the class of 2017. Josh is the son of Susie and Jim Belcher. During his high school career, Josh played soccer, served as a link leader, and was involved in the Spanish National Honor Society. He will be attending North Carolina State University in the fall, and he'll be majoring in material engineering. Please join me in welcoming the class of 2017 salutatorian, Mr. Josh Belcher.
Good morning, class of 2017. The day has finally come, and yet it almost seems too good to be true. In all honesty, if I were to start out by saying the usual, "it feels just like yesterday" cliche, I would be lying. For me, at least, these last 4 years have dragged on, and I could not be more excited to be graduating here today. Before I continue, I want to take a moment to thank everyone for coming out to see these amazing young men and women move into the next part of their lives. Students, parents, family, friends, administration, and faculty, I want to thank and congratulate all of you. Without you, who knows where any of us would be. High school is an amazing, exciting time in our lives. It offers a unique environment where we get to explore the world around us and discover who we are. We get to socialize with our friends, explore relationships, struggle with English papers, get in fights with our parents, party, and more often than not, just get into random mischief. For instance, getting in a fight with a McDonald's employee over a parking space, having the cops called, and filming it all on Snapchat. And if you're wondering, yes, that'd be me, your salutatorian. Sorry, Mom and Dad. In all seriousness, though, high school is a time where we get to learn as we go. And sometimes that can be fun, but other times it can be tough. It's a time where we learn valuable life lessons and things we never knew about ourselves. And as exciting as high school can be, sometimes those lessons have to be learned through struggle. For me, the past 4 years have included both the best and worst years of my entire life. Many of you may know me as being very talkative, very sociable, while others of you may know me as the quiet, smart kid who sticks to himself. Some of you may know me from when I played soccer for the school, or perhaps from work, or maybe you've only seen me in a class or two. Anyone who knows me well, though, would probably describe me as a kind, active, happy, and rather social kid who had a bright future ahead of him. However, that was what everyone else could see. That's not what I saw. I saw the opposite. I saw someone who was weak, awkward, and pathetic. I have what is called major depressive disorder, or depression, the common cold of mental illnesses, the one people don't like to talk about, the one that frequently gets misunderstood and stigmatized, along with all other mental illnesses. Depression, the word that everyone has used jokingly, including myself, except for me, it wasn't a joke. It was my reality. It was my world. When March came around, the stress and silent suffering had simply become too much. Students and staff may recall that on March 3rd, we had no school, teacher workday. The day before, I had spent the night at a friend's house. In the morning, I hung out with friends, visiting my favorite comic book shop, and later played disc golf. A quick shout out to Luke, Bryce, and Ross for spreading appreciation for the game. Overall, it was an awesome and fun day. I went home, ate dinner with my family, and went to bed. But I didn't go to sleep. Instead, I stayed up late, staring at my ceiling for several hours. After some time had passed, time I barely even remember, I texted my best friend. What I texted him was short, but even now, it's powerfully haunting to me. What I texted him was this: "Goodbye, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." I calmly walked to my closet, like I had done countless times before, and in that moment, I attempted to do the unthinkable, the unimaginable. That night, I attempted to do something for the second time in my life that would have hurt those I loved most, leaving them with unanswered questions. That night, I attempted to do something that over 30,000 people successfully do each and every year, and something that over 800,000 attempt. That means that every 38 seconds, someone in the world attempts to commit suicide. Someone who was struggling in silence and nobody had a clue. I'm not exaggerating when I say I shouldn't be here today. However, while I could stand here and talk about depression, about suicide, and about the stigma of mental illness in this country, that would make for what might already be the most dismal graduation speech in the history of graduation speeches. Instead, I wanted to leave myself vulnerable to everyone here today and delve into my darkest, lowest moments to show how I've still made it, that I'm still here today. To show how I've recovered and how I know that all of us are strong enough to overcome anything life throws our direction. Perhaps for some of us, most of us I would hope, high school didn't involve this much hardship. The reality, however, is that for some of us it did. Regardless of how much we struggled or succeeded in high school, it doesn't really matter, because I know that each and every single one of us has the ability to look life in its face and say, take your best shot. We are all going to have obstacles in our life, whether they be bygone, in the present, or in the future. Some of us may have to fight harder in life than others. That's simply a fact. But I don't want that to distract from another, more obvious fact, that we all have the strength to be knocked down and keep going, to keep fighting, to recognize our wounds, but still continue and improve ourselves. When I was thinking of writing this speech, I knew one way or another I would tell my story. I wanted to send a message that was unique to who I am and what I've been through, but nonetheless a message that can resonate with everyone here. I didn't want to bore everyone in this heat with cliches about changing the world. I also didn't want to scare anyone or crush anyone's spirits. My message isn't about how I've fallen. My message is about how no matter what we go through, no matter how low we may feel or how alone we find ourselves, there's always a chance for us to get back up. This class before me is a very diverse group, but regardless of what we find ourselves doing here after today, we know that we're never going to give up. We are not a group to let life throw us around. We are not a group to stay on the ground. Many people think that what defines us are our struggles, but it's how we made it through them that makes us who we are. After my hospitalization and the start of my recovery, I got a tattoo of a semicolon on my arm. You'll have to excuse my sniffling. The semicolon in literature represents where the author could have chosen to end the sentence, but instead continued on. The author is you, and the sentence is your life. You get to write your own story and decide where it goes. You're the one who gets to laugh in the faces of those who doubted you or tried to pull you down. Life is a gift. Cherish it. Be thankful for those around you and what you have, but most importantly, love yourself. Remember what you've accomplished and how you've survived. We each leave here today knowing that we can all make it through anything. I know that this world isn't prepared for me and what I can accomplish. Do you think that it's ready for you? Thank you, and congratulations to the graduating class of 2017.